Hello and welcome racing enthusiasts to another episode of Blinkers Off. And what a show we've got lined up over the course of the half an hour. And let's not forget, it's Doomben 10,000 week. And what a day it's going to be. So get out to the races tomorrow for a great racing. Now joining me on the panel is Ben Perkins and 4BC breakfast caller Mary Collier. First of all, welcome Ben.
Welcome Jesse, and to all the animal lovers.
And Ben, just to a quick note to the viewers, you threw them into the Quaddie, which paid over 10,000. That's good going, mate.
Well, we're always trying, and we work hard. We do the form, and we like to help, and that's why you pay me the big bucks, I suppose, Jesse.
As well, hopefully the viewers, I threw you into the trifecta, which paid 830, and I hope you had a bit of it. Mary, how was your day out there, and welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm sorry I missed Ben's tips last week. Couldn't be here. I would have been a much happier girl had gone to Coro, been able to beat Dear Demi, or if the protest would have been upheld. But fantastic day. But for me, 10,000 is my favourite day of the carnival, so I can't wait until tomorrow.
And join us over the show with Question of the Week, where we've got loads of giveaways. We've got tickets to the Queensland Oaks. We also, for our Melbourne viewers, we've got ticket giveaway for the Queen's birthday on the 8th of June. As well, we've also got double passes for the Titans-Cowboys game. We've got 3 to give away, so stay with us. As well, a big surprise, we've got $680 worth of a double pass to the Mackay Beach Festival up in Mackay on the Sunday, 18th of August. So stay with us over the show for the secret question. But now let's get straight into it. We're going to review the first 2 legs of the Quaddie. The first being race 6. And Mary, it's a tricky sort of race.
Yeah, look, I'm going a little bit left of field here. I've tipped the second emergency, Ferment. Really consistent Sydney form. John Thompson and Chris Waller. Trialled at Deagon on the 7th of May, though, so he's been in Brisbane for a little while. I think if Ferment gets a start, I've got him on top. Audacious Spirit, second for me. I think Jimmy Cassidy will really suit this horse. Very headstrong. Will get engaged in a speed battle with Karuta Queen, but I think we'll be able to hold out that filly and hang on. Loves Doomben, has been won or placed 4 from 5 at the track. Benny's Buttons, what a sensational return to form at Eagle Farm last start, throwing it in for 3rd. And Griffin for 4th, the Robbie Heathcote trained horse, 2nd up, good form. If Ferment doesn't get a run, I'll stick with Karuta Queen in the multiples. Yeah,
no, it's tricky sort of race. Myself, I like here number 5, Karuta Queen from the Moody stable. The Noel and Moody camp, they join forces yet again. Karuta Queen's got form behind Black Caviar, and as you know, there's no need to go there about that sort of form line. Last start, 2nd at the Gold Coast behind Detours. I think this horse, Karuta Queen, from the 11 will jump. She'll be there, and I think Moody's fitness and Nolan on board will be too strong for this field. I've got Karuta Queen on top. One here I like for second, number 14, Easy Running from the Forster camp. Now this horse has had 1 start at the track and distance for 1 win. It will be getting back. There will be a speed battle, as Mary mentioned, between Audacious Spirit and Karuta Queen. It will be flying home. Number 15, Rocker from the Schweider stable. Number 7, Griffin, who'll be charging home late, has got a great form for the track and distance, especially the distance with 5 starts, 3 wins and a 2nd. Ben, do you like one?
Well, the secret teachings tell me that Karuta Queen will run 2nd, and so I've got to find something to beat it. Now, if the track is only a dead 4, hoping it's for a dead 4, I reckon number 2, Excelentes, will sit about 4th in the run, and it's very well weighted here. It's going to have every chance to get over the top of it. Number 7, Griffin. Look, this was a good run last start. Yeah, it just couldn't quite get clear. It's very well placed here. And number 11 here, Pantasia. Also, it's a very exciting galloper. So this, you see, like Mary says, because I also agree that Ferment goes very well first up. Yeah. So it's a very, very tough race. I'm hoping the track's going to be okay. So number 2 goes very well to beat 5, 7 and 11.
You know, it's a very open race. Moving on to the second leg of the Quaddie. Another tricky sort of race, the Grand Prix over the 2200. I caught up with Chris Waller during the week. He is on the show. So stay with us for that interview. I did watch one of his Hawkesbury work, but I like this on top. I think it's going to be very hard to beat. Mary, what is it about Chris Waller, would you say, that puts him up there as number 1?
Look, I think he's got a great understanding of his horses. He treats them all as individuals, places them impeccably, engages the right sort of jockeys for the right sort of horse. I'm actually going with number 8 in the race, Rhythm to Spare on top, the up-and-coming horse. Mike Moroney just has a magical touch when it comes to stayers, as does Glenn Boss when he's riding him. Usainity second for me. I did like its run in the Rough Habit. Sticking with Chris Waller, Hawkspur into third. Of course, Cassidy stays on. You can't take anything away from that win last start. And Honorius, of course, scratched when it was intended to run last start, in for fourth for me.
Now, I've got a trick question for you. Not a trick question, a very challenging question. Usanity by a sire called Z. Do you know much about it?
No, I don't. No, please inform me.
No, I was waiting for the information yourself. Ben, do you know much about Zed the Stallion?
Yes, I do. Very, very exciting racehorse. It broke down when it was on the way to Freedman's, got hit in the float, so went straight off the float, broken tendon, and it's standing down at stud now in New Zealand. Yep. It's served Clydesdales, it's served...
number of mares.
Yeah, but it's going well. Its horses have got a lot of promise.
Now, race 7, I've come up with Hawkspur. I like it on top. I saw it worked. It'll be very competitive. Waller's horses, as you saw last week, and as we mentioned on the show, beaten up another import that's done well. From Rowie, by Flying Spur. Now, this has to be a good track for Rowie. If this track is good, it will be very hard to beat.
Sorry.
Now, I'll just...
Sorry.
I'll just give you a little bit of information on its pedigree, right? It's out of a sire called Sindar, right, who was by Grand Lodge, who won an Irish Derby and an English Derby in 2000. The pedigree is stout. Now, it has to be a good track for this pedigree to perform. If this is a good track, folks, do have something each way on Rowie. It will be very competitive. 7, Lucky, be flying home with Cooksey on board, and number 12, Ambitious Champion. Ben, what's your best in the race?
Number 2, Hawkspur, gets the run of the race. It'll be sitting fourth on the fence. It's got a huge advantage sitting there. I think number 4, Usanity, is the improver back on the better track. And Dear Demi doesn't meet that many good boys here. And I did notice during the week also that Demi Moore is asking for $10 million from Ashton Kutcher. Like, she gets himself a toy boy and then she wants to strip him. I don't think it's right.
Fair play. Why not?
The omen bet of the carnival.
Well, it's just not right to me. 10 million.
Now, during the week, I was down the track and I caught up with trainer David Kelly. I'm joined by Dave Kelly here, and Dave, you got a good few runners on the weekend, but one of the most interesting runners is the one in Sydney, Garozzo. How's he coming along?
Yeah, he's come along good. We gave him a jump out and we took him down to Grafton, the Barrow trial, a week ago because, you know, the tracks were wet up here and the trials were called off, so we took him down to Grafton and he trialled really nicely.
How far did he trial over?
He trialled over the 1,000, you know, and they run good time. They run 58.60, so yeah, we were pleased with his trial. So there's limited races up here now because of the carnival, so yeah, we decided to head south with him on Saturday, and he'll probably stay down there for 1 or 2 runs and then head back to Grafton for the South Grafton Cup in July. Just watching him work on the screen there, he worked well this morning. Yeah, well, I was really happy with his work. It was solid work, and we were happy with that, the way he worked to the line. So yeah, hope he draws a good gate on Saturday, and fingers crossed. Well, it's a bit nippy down here this morning. Yes. It was probably a bit colder yesterday morning actually, so a bit warmer. I hope there's not much rain about. I'm sure the Kiwi invaders would be used to that down here. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Now, you got a few runners at the coast, the best of them? Yeah, I think we've got 4 runners at the coast. Best runner's probably Retune. He ran at Ipswich last Friday and ran a nice third, so that's tightened him up for Saturday, so he's in the Class 4 1800, so he's probably our best runner up this way on Saturday. Dave, thanks for joining us. Cheers, mate.
Get into all the betting action with TatsBet. Go online. Call 13 19 39. Use the smartphone app or visit your local TAB. TatsBet. More action, more places.
This May and June, the Gold Coast comes alive with the Magic Millions National Sale. The best of the best. quality broodmares, star weanlings, and outstanding yearlings and racehorses.
Piero drove through, took the lead in the slipper. Gate holders months ago, and Piero won it from Stitzerland and Samaretti.
Australia's leading breeding stock sale on the Gold Coast. Visit magicmillions.com.au.
It's back again, and Doomben 10,000 day, and this is the race we all want to see. And Mary, what have you got for the punters out there?
Look, my tip, there's lots of ifs surrounding this horse, but I have got the 6 on top, My Quest for Peace. Out of the Peter Moody stable, he's given the horse a huge rap. It's got outstanding first up form, of course, over much longer distances, but I don't think he's here for nothing, provided the track is okay tomorrow. I've got him on top. Can't go past your song, the 8 for second. Just an incredible performance to win the BTC Cup.
Barrier 15?
Yeah, that's a big concern. I mean, but he loses nothing with Bowman replacing Peter Roble.
Well, just a spot in there for the punters at home. Barrier 15, a little statistic just for your knowledge. It's the 4th best barrier from the 1350 with a 9.6% strike rate. So if you're worried about 15, gate 15, statistics say it's the 4th best barrier from that distance.
Yeah,
so
look, that's good to know. And of course, with the horse going to start at Guri Pastoral, we know he's there to win the race. I really like Epaulette as well. I think this is the big danger in the race. 3rd in the Caulfield Guineas to the 2 best colts we've seen in a decade in All Too Hard and Piero. Throwing in Buffering, Paulie away last start, I'll forgive the run. And I'll throw in Better Than Ready for your multiples as well.
There you have it. Ben?
Well, the way I've mapped this race out is I've got Rain Affair and Steps in Time both going forward. I've got Your Song coming across from the outside with Buffering, and they'll be sitting 3rd and 4th. Then I've got Rangy Rang Do in a fantastic spot, and Epaulette also in a fantastic spot, just about 4 or 5 lengths off the leaders. And anyway, but if you watch the way that Your Song, it's galloping action, you watch the way it trialled, it was phenomenal, and then it raced in exactly the same fashion, and its galloping action has got me absolutely won over. I don't want to go against it. I put number 15 here, Better Than Ready, in for second. It gets a good run, 7th defence. Rangy Rang Do, he'll run a gutsy race at 33 to 1. And number 10, Epaulette, should go okay. So I've got 8, 15, 1 and 10.
Ooh, I get shivers about this race because I've just got the best bet of the year here. Epaulette, I think it's a special. Barrier 4, Kay McAvoy, Peter Snowden, 3 starts at the distance, 2 wins. There's going to be so much pace in this race. Coming from 4, he's going to sit back. He's going to be about 6th or 7th, on 1 out, 1 back, even 2 back in the running line. Then it's just going to pop out at the furlong and go bang, and it's all over. Epaulette to win. Great bet, great bet. Buffering, Rocker, Siren, Rain Affair, Sea Siren, they're all going to be there. It's a very tricky race, but I think Epaulette is a great each-way bet. Now, we're going to catch up where we're back to the track with Paul Hammersley. I'm joined by our local guest again on the show, Paul Hammersley, and welcome to the show, Hammer.
Thanks, Jess.
We're talking about Doomben 10,000 week. Before we get into a few of your rides, what's it like riding on a big day like that?
Mate, it's really good. It gives you a lot of confidence, you know, hanging around the big riders for the day, and even just being there with the big crowds and watching the good horses go around. It's really quite exciting.
Now you're riding one in the Doomben 10,000, Punch On. It was a good run last start. You threw the viewers into it. He ran 3rd at big odds. How do you rate his chances coming up?
Mate, she ran a super race last start. Probably just didn't quite see the race yet strong after a nice, nice spell. 3rd up this time round. Should be a lot fitter. It's definitely it's going to be a very strong race, but on her day she's probably up to half of those, and with a good draw and a bit of luck in the race, she's going to be a good show.
Now here Paul's a instrument that a jockey, what they call a tool of the trade. What exactly is it?
Us Simpletons just call them a beeper, but I think they're officially known as a metronome. We use them for our timing out on the track, and get the 15 beeps per furlong.
What's the idea of the 15 per furlong?
Mate, just when they start doing a bit of work, do their 3/4 15s to work and gallopy 13s. Just so if you're bit distracted while holding a horse. It's just keeps you on track, keep your times right.
You're also riding one Conspirator in the 3-year-olds. Looks to be a fair chance.
Yeah, I've probably mentioned him a couple of times on the show, and he's been scratched recently a couple of times due to wide barriers and wet tracks and hard races. But we've always got a good opinion of this horse, and he's been a couple of handy horses in his time. And again with a good draw and luck on his side, I think he's going to be a nice horse in time.
Now, just on the lighter side, you're running. There's been 3 drivers so far in the Jockey Challenge, and you're running 3rd. Things aren't looking too good with another 6 riders to come.
No, we just won't mention that, Jess.
Well, Paul, good luck on Saturday, and we'll see you on the show again soon.
All right, cheers.
It was always good catching up with Paul, and it's interesting to see he's still last on the Jockey Challenge. Now, we've got plenty of giveaways with Question of the Week. We've got tickets to give away for the Queensland Oaks. We've got tickets to give away to the Titans and Cowboys game. We have 3 double passes. So send those emails in with the question of the week is, who won last year's Queensland Oaks? So get those emails coming in, and we'll get those tickets out to our winners ASAP. Now, as well, during the week while I was down at the track, I caught up with leading trainer Chris Waller to talk about his runners up here. I'm joined by Chris Waller down here at morning track work. Chris, you feeling the chill this morning?
Yes, a bit fresh on the Gold Coast. I thought it was supposed to be good weather up here, but no rain at least, but very cold.
Mate, it's very cold. I can tell you the hairs are on the back of my neck. Now, you've got a number of runners coming into the weekend. They look to be a few good chances. Could you just run us through a few of them?
We've got Hawkspur, who's a last start winner, and he's running in the Grand Prix, which is the 3-year-old race on Saturday. Winning form's good form, and he's worked well this morning. We've got Studio and Moriarty in the Premier's Cup, both last start winners. Studio at the Gold Coast on Hollandale Cup Day, and Moriarty won a listed race back in Sydney, so they're both form horses going in the right direction. Moriarty will head towards the Brisbane Cup, all going well after the start. After them, we've got Villanova in the Size Produce. He ran 2nd up here in his first Australian start. He's a New Zealand horse, and Larry Cassidy will be proud of that.
We see, we're just watching Villanova on screen working. He worked well?
Yeah, he did work well. He worked on his own and just had a nice breeze up the straight, but he's coming to hand nicely, and I think the 1400 or 1350 on Saturday will suit him a lot better than the 1200. And then we've got Arenosa. She's an in-form horse. She's coming up on Wednesday night, so we'll get to the coast on Thursday morning for a look around. And she's obviously the form horse, and on her current form, she's going to be very hard to beat, probably in the fillies and mares race. She's also entered for the Doomben 10,000, but our preference is to give her a slightly easier option, being the fillies and mares race, then the Stradbroke, and hopefully the Tattersalls Tiara after that. And the last of them will be Rangi Rangdu, the stable stalwart, and he's in the Doomben 10,000. He's obviously in the twilight of his career, but I took heart out of his first up run where he ran 5th in the All-Age Stakes behind All Too Hard and Rain of Fair, and I thought there was improvement to come with that run, so I think on Saturday he'll run a cheeky race.
You find when the horses come up here to the warmer climate, even though today for exception is freezing, do the horses sort of thrive a bit, or do they get out to togs and get a bit of a suntan?
No, they do thrive, and even like this morning, it's warmer than most parts of Australia, so yeah, firstly the change of scenery, and secondly the warmer climate, they just thrive. And when horses are doing well, they hold their weight, they're happy, and they race well.
Yeah, I noticed myself when I go on a holiday, I like to put on a few extra kilos, that's for sure.
There's plenty like you, and me included.
Well, Chris, thanks for joining us on the show. Good luck on the weekend. But before we go, who would be the best for the program?
Arenosa.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
This May and June, the Gold Coast comes alive with the Magic Millions National Sale. The best of the best. Quality broodmares, Star Weanlings and Outstanding Yearlings and Racehorses.
Piero drove through, took the lead in the slipper. Gate holders months ago, and Piero won it from Stitzerland and Samaretti.
Australia's leading breeding stock sale on the Gold Coast. Visit magicmillions.com.au.
I feel up, I'm ready to get down. I feel good, oh, I'm ready to be bad. Turning the world inside out, I'm ready to play. I feel right, so right that I might be wrong.
Experience the Brisbane Racing Club, Eagle Farm and Doomben 48 times a year. It's a carnival every Saturday.
Always good catching up there with Chris Waller, and I'm sure he threw you into a few winners there with Villanova and Arenosa, along with Hawkesbury, as you saw him working on course there. Now we're getting into the sports segment, short, sharp and sweet. Ben, first of all, the rugby, Quade Cooper.
Should have been picked by Robbie Deans, but Robbie Deans is easily the worst selector and coach this country has ever had.
But he did choose Israel Folau, so we've got to be really happy about that. Go Izzy, I'm excited.
Mary, as well, we're going to get on to the NRL. Balmain, looks like West want to separate from Balmain, yes or no? Will it happen?
No, it won't happen, and I can't bring myself to talk about the Tigers just at this moment.
Ben, South Sydney.
Love them. Every week, put $30 on them to win the premiership because it is written.
Russell Crowe, South Sydney, down for me. Can't stand them. Enemy number one. AFL, Collingwood to beat Geelong. Best bet of the year. What do you think of the game?
I thought the Collingwood energy was sensational and I was super impressed by them. Fascinating to see whether they can repeat that enthusiasm this week against the Swans.
But as well, Port, Essendon, are they on the slide, Mary?
Essendon being beaten by the Lions is really not a good sign. Really happy for the local Brisbane team, but I wouldn't want to be an Essendon fan at the moment.
Ben, the Lady Boys, undefeated, still defeated, cannot win a game, will not win a game. They got Fremantle, who they got? Freo away, Collingwood and then Hawthorn. And it's not looking good.
They'll need to be dragged to the plane because my information is they don't want to go over there. Right. They're terrified.
All right, we're going to go to Titans TV where we were down with the Titans. And here we go. Ben's the kicking coach, the big-time sport coach. Let's see how the Titans fare up in the kicking challenge.
Titans fans, time for another episode of Clash of the Titans. We've got the debutants this week. We've got Anthony Don and Sam Irwin. Sam Irwin represent the forwards, Anthony Don the backs. We've got drop goals this week. All right, well, let's get stuck in. This is the drop goal challenge.
Replay. Backswing. Thank you very much. Well, not the most exactly straight kicking there by the Titans players, but all the same, the backs came out on top. Now it's race 9, the Premier's Cup over the 2200. There looks to only be one winner here. But Mary, who have you selected?
Look, I think we're all on the same page here. Sam Kavanagh's Midsummer Sun, just an amazing form line. I mean, it's beat Fulgar at Caulfield last start. incredible weight drop. You know, I just think it's the winner, and I've got the best Quinella of the day with Zanita into second. Again, you know, great, nice fourth in the Lord Mayor's Cup last week. Going to back up really well, I believe. Throwing in Shenzhou Steeds for third, depends which horse turns up on the day. And Studio, again, consistent for Waller. But Midsummer Sun all day. You agree, Ben?
I'm with Midsummer Sun. I can't find a danger.
Yeah, no, look, I've got to say, I'm for Midsummer Sun by Sire Monsoon, who stands in Germany. He's passed away now. He died in 2012. Now, breeders, if you're interested in your breeding and your pedigrees here, this sire here is a brilliant broodmare sire, and he's got a 31% strike rate for his broodmares. Now, you can follow us on Twitter. For me, it's Midsummer Sun as well, all the way. Now, you can follow us on Twitter at BlinkersOff88. You can also go to the website blinkersoff.com.au for all our selections for the program. Now, we're going to the most important aspect of the show, the Jockey Challenge, where we are at Kingston Park Raceway in the Need for Speed. Here we are with Ash Butler in the Jockey Challenge.
Took you home and be a home run. Show me how you do. I wanna shut down the cloud with you. Hey, I heard you like the wild ones, wild ones,
Now we're back, and Mary, best bet of the program?
Definitely in the last. We've got to wait all day, but Midsummer Sun, Bossy to weave his staying riding magic for me.
Ben, best bet?
Hawkspur, run of the race, must run well.
Mine is Epaulet, best bet on the program. Will get a great run and should be very, very hard to beat at nice odds, about 7-1. Now that brings us to an end of Blinkers Off. Thanks for joining us, and remember, do email for the tickets for the Oaks, tickets to the Titans game, Queen's birthday at Flemington. We've got loads. Send us your emails. Thanks for joining us. Join us next week. Same place, same time. Bye for now.